Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. Welcome back to VALORANT news and plenty to dive into today. The weekend of matches finally is once again back underway in the European and North America sides. Loads of updates in the EMEA region, North America, with certainly some entertainment hitting the timeline as well. Very much enjoyed your thoughts in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new as always. I'd greatly appreciate it. On the verge of 9,000 subs. Just love to see it. Firstly, this from Gen.G. We discussed yesterday that yes, the VALORANT team looks to make some sort of changes. Kusta from the CSGO days on the Gen.G roster into the VALORANT days as well. He's now going to be out of there, of course, as they look to make some changes and bolster their roster once again to try and make their way into challenges for Stage 2. But that is going to be quite a while away at this point. Speaking of Stage 2, we'll actually see this in a second in terms of where the Masters event is going to be in Reykjavík. But well, firstly, this from Sentinels, 15k likes and we play Neon. You see, well, they far and away exceeded that one, but of course, well, didn't end up in reality. We'll have a look at that a little bit later today. This then from George Geddes, the first VTT Masters event will return to Reykjavík in Iceland per the VALORANT esports Weibo account, or whatever the case may be. So yes, Masters VALORANT is going to be in Reykjavík again. It was, I'm pretty sure, there at least for one of the events last year. Also, now look, pretty big deal. It's going to return to Iceland. To me, the key point really here is is there actually going to be fans at this event? Because we saw what happened when they tried to do a LAN event at the LCQ in North America. It completely fell apart. So there wasn't even fans there, right? But they ended up having to cancel it and do it online because some players got they tested positive. They can play at the main venue. It was a complete shambles, that LCQ in North America. Way back, I guess it was start of November sometime, a month or so before Champions. Now, still, this is going to be in Reykjavík. The idea, this is going to be in April sometime, I'm pretty sure, after, of course, the first round of Challengers and the playoffs for Challengers and which teams are going to go to Masters all gets determined. Then they're going to fly out here and play. The ideal is there's going to be fans at this venue, but look, who knows if that's actually going to be the case? I don't know whether Riot want to risk it. To me, it doesn't feel like a proper LAN without fans there. You'd have thought that April 2022, you could probably make fans at the venue happen. Other esports and sports have certainly been doing it for a fairly long time at this point. So I think that Riot should really be trying to make that happen. Maybe Reykjavík in Iceland, the regulations there might make that more reasonable. But I guess we'll see. 2 months can change a lot of things. Interesting though to see it back in Reykjavík. I think probably a safer decision than going to Germany or anything, because we saw what happened at Champions. A lot of the players at the facilities, the players were in, wasn't so ideal given the regulations in Germany. So maybe Iceland will be a little bit better. Pretty cool to see it return to Reykjavík, I think, all things considered. Not too often used really for esports events, and certainly was a good time last time around. Let's talk about the series that went down yesterday then. So Gambit, they were playing against FPX, first match of the day, and remarkably really, the first, I'm pretty sure maybe the last two maps of this series, or maybe the first two maps, they did not play with Jett at all. So some very interesting tactics here. We got Brimstone coming into play, the compositions were very interesting, and honestly it didn't really work out for them because they lose this series in quite remarkable fashion. This firstly actually from Nats, because you rarely ever see a kind of Cypher trapwire come into effect and actually get a kill. But yeah, Haven's right here. I like your zyppan, you're out of there. Yeah, pretty rare to see this honestly in an official VCT game. FPX got 1-0. Then Shados and the Gambit guys really show their class here on binds. They bounce back to win the second map, and you kind of think at this point, okay, slow start for the Gambit guys. They're going to come out and win this series. But honestly, what a performance from FPX. Angel is this in-game leader. Even in the Counter-Strike days, he'd always get these results that you wouldn't necessarily expect him to get, that he just pulls off regardless, right? And another crazy result up against Gambit right here. So yes, Gambit go down 2-1. They lose the Fracture, I'm pretty sure, game one in crazy overtime. 17-15 it goes in the end. And well, they win that bind 13-6. And then Icebox goes 14-12. So really some crazy clutch factor from FPX here to win these overtimes. And as you'll see, apart from the last map where Dephh did have the Jett out, the other two maps there was no Jett being employed on the side of the Gambit guys, which are definitely an interesting composition. Cool to see these kind of options coming to the table lately. But yeah, of course, Sage coming into action, all this type of stuff as well. And on Fracture we saw a similar story. Chronica leading the line with Brimstone of all agents. But yeah, wow, what a performance from the guys over at FPX. Yeah, Ardis and Sheo, especially over the course of the series, absolute monsters. Cool to see upsets coming in frankly all regions at the present time. And that was continuing on the story later in the day, because cNed was playing Chamber, which are pretty remarkable as well for the Acend guys. But we talked about yesterday, okay, Acend versus that Guilds. Is that going to go the way of Acend? They didn't get the best practice leading up to this, right? Mixwell stood in, as we saw in their game yesterday. And well, as we see what happens right here. So Acend got 1-0 in this series. And okay, at that point you think, okay, fair enough, Acend going to close this one out. No problems at all. But yeah, it goes the other way. Guilds managed to bounce back here on the game 2 breeze. And then game 3 was dominant in their favor. A really remarkable stuff. 2-1 to Guild. Acend go down, the world champions. Guild have made so many massive improvements lately with picking up this new roster, making their way through comfortably through the open qualifier all the way into Challengers, and now they're taking down Acend. Just to create some really exciting storylines here, well, multinational lineup, of course, with Safe on the team, Coldementers there as well, and yes, the game on it was 13-11, close fought affair, but Acend take it, then 13-9 for Guild, it goes all the way to a final map, and Fracture was dominant, 13-4, dominant CT side from Gills, and yeah, wow, this is not something you see every day. cNed on the chamber, not really having the desired results. cNed still the best performing player on the Acend side, but he only used chamber. I think he used chamber map 2 and 3, but it is pretty rare that you see a team like Guild right here all positive against a squad like Acend. So yes, just a remarkable upsets going on. Yes, it's online. Yes, things are going to change. Not the end of the world for Acend or Gambit by any means. They were both 1-0 going into this matchup, but it definitely just creates some fantastic storylines as we continue on here through the rest of Challengers 1. Let's talk then about what happened in the North American side. As Sentinels say this is supposed to take much longer than 15k likes to play Neon, like how they get kind of L+ ratioed here by Tarek in the reply. But well, let's talk about their series. They play Knights. Interesting really, because Knights got bodied by version 1 in their matchup last week. Like they won maybe 6 rounds or 8 rounds over the course of 2 maps. This time they're a lot more competitive, as we might expect them to be. Sentinels actually go down here on the game 1 Ascent. Like very impressive stuff. Dapr made some nice plays to keep the dream alive, but still goes to overtime. Knights actually end up winning the entire thing, and well, just impressive work for them, all things considered. As you can see, Fossey making some insane plays here on the B side of Ascent to actually get this series done, or at least get this first map done. But then Sentinels bounce back, right? They take the game 2, they take it to Haven, and they win the Haven as well. So honestly, it was not convincing really from the Sentinels guys. They won an also kind of semi-unconvincing series last week as well, but still, the job got done at the end of the day. That's all we can really ask for with these online matches, just about getting through, qualifying for playoffs, and then trying to make something happen on LAN. Now, one of the big talks of this series, actually, which was kind of surprising to me, is that it kind of Zombs Nation is something which kind of, well, is spammed around right in the chat and stuff like this, and I'm not really sure why this was the case, but pretty much all the comments here from Zombs Nation and stuff like this in the chats were getting deleted by moderators. Not sure why that should be the case. Like, I'm not sure why they felt the need to do this, but you can see this in kind of real time, Zombs Nation getting deleted in front of your very eyes. So yeah, it's kind of crazy stuff. No idea why, but rest in peace Zombs Nation. I think the plan is to probably rename Zombs Nation to something else, right, to get through the moderators. But yeah, TenZ says, 1 against Knights, 2-1, GG's to them. Slow stuff, Mas. Glad we could pick up the pace through the rest of it as well. And he actually says in the reply to this original tweet at ShahZaM, told you we should have run Neon. That would have been very entertaining, but if they hadn't done so, not particularly used to it, maybe it would have been Knights who got the better of them, because it was a very close series, all things considered. This also from Zombs, once again, just throwing some daggers. He loves to do it. 2-0 so far in VCT, doing the no practice, no warm-up challenge. GG's at the Knights. Of course, they're definitely tongue-in-cheek. The no practice stuff he's been baiting about before. No warm-up, a relatively new one, but still, I thought pretty funny regardless. And as babybay says in the reply, hashtag Zombs Academy, because they might need a new hashtag ready to put in the chat. Otherwise, the moderators seem to come down with the ban hammer. This was the overall series. Stats are 2-1 in favour of the Sentinels at the end of the day. Scuba had a nice, especially game 1 here. I mean, we'll see right here, like 26-19. Goes to overtime, 15-13. But Sentinels bounce back pretty impressively, 13-5. And then the final map goes their way, 13-8 as well on Haven. So yes, definitely turned up when it mattered. The Sentinels lads, they're now 2-0 going into this Challenger stage. That should pretty much be good enough for them to guarantee their way all the way to the playoffs. But well, we'll see how things could significantly change. The other game in that group was LG versus EG. Interesting series. Your boy Dre, especially up against his former team in LG. I felt like maybe he'll get the better of them. Very close fought affair. There was some bodies being shot, I'm pretty sure, at some points by Dre. But yeah, goes to overtime. 14-12 in favour of LG. Remarkable series. And as Moose says, EG, more like GG. 2-1 for VCT. Don't spam bodies, please, Mr. At your boy Dre. Lol, GG's was fun. You're looking like Nat on the cypher, no cap. But of course, actually something I didn't really mention in that series earlier, just to look at real quick again, the Gambit series. How often do you see Nats go 38 and 53? Like, very rare indeed. So you can imagine a similar performance would not necessarily follow the next time around. This was the final scoreboard for that series, EG versus Luminosity. And yeah, very close fought affair. 13-2 was the game 1 on Bind. That was domination. Then it goes 13-11 on Split, and then Breeze 14-12 just as Luminosity close things out. These then the games coming up later today. So firstly, these are the games for the rest of the weekend. In the EMEA side, London versus Big, BBL versus Fnatic. Exciting stuff. I kind of want to take Big to win this one. Big fan of GodB and what he's done in the scene for many years. And then yeah, BBL Fnatic, probably want to take Fnatic. But look, who knows what's going to happen in these series, right? Because yesterday, the matches seemed to be relatively clear, but upsets were coming thick and fast. And this is what's going on in the North American side. Except Cloud9 later today. Very excited for this one. I think Cloud9 will take it 2-1. I think it will be close. Rise version 1 is the other game of the day. If Rise play how they did against Optic, I think they win. But again, I think another very close series. I'm expecting some overtimes. I'm expecting a game 3. And well, we'll talk about the other series as they go on tomorrow. But very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hit on the like button. Tell us on YouTube gods, this is a good video. Others like you should see it as well. And I've grown the competitive Valorant community. Thanks for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
Yep. 5 seconds. Spike will be planted. Nats now coming up. No way. No way. Nats denies it.
Down B.
No way. From so deep in spawn with the snake bite. And it's Ardis who's tagged up. I think he's sub 50 HP. He's the one that tries to get the plant. Anybody else there, they get the plant.
Towards Showers, but there's still presence here to be noted. Dephh 1 just swings on out, finds nothing for it. Shower preoccupied though now by the Molotov. This isn't going to be too much of a bother.
No way.
Oh,
No way, Chronicle!
Chronicle's a god
Are
right
you
now,
kidding
playing
me?
above his